with us as we introduce this piece of information that is in fact coming in as well, where BJP National President Nitin Nabin has said that the recently concluded India-US trade deal along with the EU-India Free Trade Agreement demonstrates the strength and global appeal of the Indian market. To Nabin, these agreements not only open up new opportunities for Indian exporters but also reinforce India's position as a key player in international trade. Let me in fact go across to our Jammu and Kashmir Bureau Chief Ajay Jandyal, who is joining us live on the broadcast as well. Ajay, so we have the BJP President Nitin Nabin also commenting and congratulating Indians on this trade agreement, saying that this is not only a big boost for exporters but also for the people, as it will create a lot of job opportunities.
Definitely everyone in the country, they are appreciating this step, because it is not only a matter of a deal between the two countries, but it is to basically, the country's people has to be benefited. That is what the BJP, national president is saying, and he says that yes, this is going to definitely help the country to grow in different sectors, in different, it's a different kind of a win as well. I just spoke to the LG Ladakh, and he, while speaking exclusive to the NewsX, he clearly says that definitely it's a big step, and India have shown that they are not going to surrender before anyone if somebody is even powerful. And he says that finally what we have seen, that America, who was adamant and was clearly continuously saying that India has to do this, or we are going to increase the tariff. But even after that, India did not succumb, and that is the result. That is the result of that. India have shown the spine, and now the America has come down, and they have they have come for the trade deal. So definitely it's a big step, and definitely it is going to help the country in a different ways, in the different sectors, and especially the youngsters, those who were worried about that what is going to happen, those who are doing trade, those who are expecting that they will get jobs and other things, that they were worried. But now after this trade deal, we have seen that people have many expectations with this deal, and they are expecting that in the coming days it is going to help the country to grow. It is going to change the economy as well.
Right, Ajay, I'll request you to please stay on with us. Also on the broadcast, Arvind Singh Tejawat, Foreign Affairs expert, who has joined us. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast. We appreciate your time. Sir, if I can get your observations on this framework that has been released by the US. We have some details regarding this entire agreement. We do see that India seems to gain a lot.
Yeah, means at this moment, if we think, then of course it's a good deal, because earlier we were paying the 50% tariff, and it has cut down up to the 18%. So it's a good news all over. And at the same time, you are saying about that map being released by the joint that forum, the deal forum. Then of course it's a good news. And but in other hand, this is a true story that if you will ask the office of the American Foreign Secretary, then probably he might not agree with the Indian viewpoint. But in that way, the India has taken its revenge when the Donald Trump was claiming that he was the mediator for the ceasefire between the India and Pakistan. So India has taken a revenge. But if we speak about the official state of United States, then of course the United States believe that the Jammu and Kashmir is that territory where we need to talk with each other and probably not agree with the Indian viewpoint. Over to you, Shivani.
Right. In fact, also joining us on the broadcast is Mr. Sanjeev Srivastav. He is also a foreign affairs expert. Mr. Srivastav, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time. So, if I can get your comments on this national security clause that India seems to have breached, and they have gotten certain concessions for on certain aircrafts and aircraft parts. How do you look at that particular concession that India has managed to achieve through this trade deal?
Well, first of all, I would say that this announcement of a framework with regard to interim agreement of India-US trade deal is a very welcome development, and it shows that both the sides are satisfied at this point of time, and a kind of a win-win formula, a win-win situation has emerged after a very intense and several rounds of negotiations, and both the sides are now satisfied that they can go ahead with this trade deal. And although this is an interim agreement, and for that framework has been announced, but all the scope for any kind of a further modification has remained open. And in this framework agreement, it is quite visible that both the sides have discussed several issues, including those concessions on the national security imperatives. And I believe that it's a welcome development too. And this shows that both India and the United States of America are having a closer cooperation and understanding with regard to their security cooperation as well as the defense cooperation. And that kind of cooperation too has seen upward trajectory. And both the nations have been having several such defense understanding and agreements. So I believe that when this clause has been incorporated in this framework which has been announced, then it will further pave way for India and the US to have a greater security collaboration and greater defense collaboration. And it shows also that both the nations, despite having several disagreement on certain issues, and recent times we had seen the kind of tense situation prevail because of the 50% of tariff. But now I think those dark clouds are slightly dispersing, and a light is emerging. And but I believe that this entire process of negotiation with regard to a comprehensive bilateral trade agreement will go on. And once this, but I would also add that we will have to wait for some more time for the final deal to be inked. And when such deal is inked and the final document comes out, then I think it will we will be in a much better position to say very clearly that what has gone on in this trade deal. But overall, I would say thus far, it's a very welcome development, and it will enhance India-US economic partnership, and ultimately it will pave way to put India-US comprehensive global strategic partnership into a higher trajectory. And also, I would also like to add that the kind of agreement India has been able to do with the Trump administration, this gives a very constructive message to the international community too, that wherever Donald Trump administration is showing very aggressive behavior, it is not that that behavior will continue forever, and it might change. It might, the Trump administration, President Trump might come to constructive negotiations and dialogue too. So I think all those countries, those who are having a very tough time with Trump administration, they must take also a kind of a sigh of relief that this Trump administration can take turns towards constructive ways. And but for that to do, those countries will have to behave the way India has behaved. And we have shown our determination, our courage. We have shown our resolve not to bend before such pulls and pressure, tricks and tactics. And we have maintained our strategic autonomy. So I think all those countries in the international community, those who are currently dealing with the Trump administration and their aggressive behavior, they should also take note that Trump administration might change and might bend to for having a constructive dialogue and negotiation. And that's what India has been able to achieve. And I think that this message also goes across the international community that a fair trade deal, even with the Trump administration, is possible.
Right, absolutely. In fact, let me introduce another piece of information that is coming in right now. Former Foreign Secretary and Rajya Sabha